Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and we are post All-Star break now and heading into the second half of the season. We are going to get through quite a bit of the season here in this episode, so you don't want to miss any of that. So I just want to look at the stats here in the first half. David Freese is hitting in kind of a platoon role, but it's definitely more than a platoon role now that Justin Turner has torn his, I believe it was his, Achilles tendon, and now he's out for the season. So that means that David Freese has to step up. But in his absence, I mean, he's been doing just as well. And I'm really proud and happy that I have that depth on our team. That was something that we struggled with the first couple of years. Marwin Gonzalez has definitely been a bright signing for us, and if you look at this would actually be his career high in average if he kept it up the entire year. Last year, man, he had an absolutely great year. He hit 29 home runs, 95 RBIs, even had 17 stolen bases. I mean, that's a really good season for a guy that only has 40 speed. I mean, that's pretty good. And we have him under contract for this year and next year. Omar Narvaez is actually hitting about what I would want him to hit. I would want him to hit like, I'd take 280, but he's hitting way above what I would expect. 296, and he has an OPS of 875, which is actually really good. So I will take that any day of the week. I mean, really, that is just great. Tim Beckham has an OPS of about 900. He's just everything that you would want in a guy like him, a veteran, 31 years old. We do have him under contract for 2 more seasons after this one. And I mean, what more can you ask for? A 900 OPS is just out of this world for him. Domingo Santana, I mean, look at him in a platoon role. Hitting 280, 900 OPS. I mean, all these guys are doing so well for us. JP Crawford hitting 270, and just looking at his stats, he's having a bit of a down year, but I think he'll get on track. I really do think he'll get on track. Malik Smith having a decent season. I mean, hitting 262, you obviously want that higher. And the stolen base is only at 8. We definitely want to get that up. He needs to get back to when he had about 40. I mean, I expect him to have 30, to be honest. I mean, he's got 89 speed, and he is going into an arbitration year, so we'll see. Ronald Marte is actually doing pretty well in his first couple of games since we did move him up, hitting 260. I think he's still getting acclimated with MLB pitching. I expect him to definitely, keep that track and start hitting a little bit better, but I'm not mad at that. Daniel Vogelback hitting 253. Paul DeJong is definitely having a down year, but he's got 15 homers. I'm not really too concerned because I know what he can do. Seihei Uebiyashi is actually not hitting too well, and this is a guy I've actually moved to kind of a platoon role, but he is hitting well versus left-handers, which is kind of weird. And you need to see the progression for left-handers is actually going up with contact. Is at 70 now, so I don't know what to do with him right now, but he's definitely still going to be at the MLB level. Sam Perez is a guy I thought about bringing him down, but he's still got decent base running and decent speed. 69 isn't too good, but 82 stealing. If he gets on first or he pinch runs for somebody on first, he can definitely steal, so that's actually valuable. And then Wellington Castillo would be the one guy I would probably want to replace here. I mean, I do have him under contract just for this year. It was a temporary, so I wanted to kind of, feel him out, and it doesn't seem like it's working too well. From the pitching side of things, Corey Kluber, you know him, 12-2, 125 whip. No other words to be said. Jeremy Hellickson, kind of the same thing, 117 whip, 8-5. Yusei Kikuchi, 1.2 whip, 8-5. I mean, these guys are doing pretty well. Marco Gonzalez, he actually just doesn't have the wins to speak of, but 114 whip. I'm not too mad about this. And just looking at his strikeout to walk ratio, look at it. 76 strikeouts to 18 walks. I mean, what else can you ask for out of a guy like Gonzalez, who's in probably our 4th spot in the rotation? Then Carlos Rodon having a bit of a down year, but I expect him to pick it up towards the end of the season. Coming out of our bullpen, I think our highest whip guy right here is Iñialo Gomez, 144 whip. actually has the most innings pitched, so that we might need to tone that down just a little bit. Kirby Yates in the closing role, 115 whip. Colomé, 0.82. Justice Sheffield is the one wild card. I don't know about him anymore. I think I've seen 3 straight seasons of him just struggling. In the first season, he didn't really pitch that much, but the last season, he didn't do well. This season, he's not doing well at all. So I'm thinking about potentially moving him. I don't think it'll be this season, maybe going into next season. I want to see how he finishes this year, but I definitely cannot depend on him if we do make the playoffs. Sam Tuivalala, going back to his setup role, he's been doing well. 111 whip, going back to what he was 2 seasons ago when he was actually one of our best pitchers. I really like what he's doing. Dan Altavilla, he's actually been in a setup role as well. Not as many innings pitched as last year. I'm not sure why, though. I mean, he's kind of had the same type of role, but I guess the computer isn't really pitching him in sim situations. Dylan Floro as well. He's having a good year. Only 19 innings pitched. I want to see him get more innings than we're giving to Anyalo Gomez. I don't know why we're giving him so many innings. So let's actually switch that up. I'm going to move Anyalo Gomez down to maybe Altavilla's role, because Altavilla was our star last year. So let's move that around and see if that actually has an effect. So these are just divisional games. I don't really want to play them in the month of July. Maybe when we get towards September, that's when it really matters. But right now, I'm just going to kind of sim past these divisional games and just get into these critical situations. So Kirby Yates, he has a chance to get the save here. Let's see if he does it. Yes, he does. We get the win. We win again. Then we're about to win again. 3-0. Jeremy Hellickson on the mound. We almost sweep them on the road, but oh, we get a trade offer from the Diamondbacks. Let's see who they want. So they want Reggie Gutierrez, who, remember, he was one of our draft picks last season. I actually believe he was one of our first draft picks. I forgot what pick it was, but he's a decent prospect of ours. 20 years old, B potential. But let's see who they're willing to give up here. Center fielder Eduardo Diaz. So another young center fielder. But here's the problem. We have so many outfield prospects in our organization. We have Mariano Casto, who is actually better and younger than him. So I don't expect us to do that. Adam Walker is really, really interesting. A guy that I just picked up in the beginning because I needed some, depth in the organization. But this guy can actually hit first lefties. He's got some good power. I actually might move him up if somebody gets hurt. I don't want to waste any time on Jarred Kelenic or even Elliot Ramos, just because I don't want to kind of mess up their progression. They're progressing really well right now. And then Warner Zamora in the outfield as well. He was our top pick in our first draft. He's progressing really, really nicely. And I believe he's actually hitting above 300 at AAA. And then we also have Julio Rodriguez, who I don't want to forget about. He's a power-hitting 20-year-old outfielder. He's got really good arm strength. But then here's the guy that I'm kind of disappointed with. Kyle Lewis had a great season the first year, but he's actually declining. I don't know why he's declining, but he is. In our organization, when we got so many outfielders, he's going to have to do better. But I'm going to say no to this trade. It doesn't make any sense. So let's get back to simming here, and let's just see what we do into the month of July. So we do have a chance here in the top of the 9th. Let's just try to hop into this.
Not where he wanted that curveball to end up, but I guess it fooled him enough to get the swing and miss.
Bouncer up the middle. Gordon is there. There's one. Back to first. It's a double play right when he needed it, and this ball game is over.
Man, they battled right to the end, getting the tying run aboard.
So we do end up hitting into the ground ball there, but we do take 3 of 4 on the road versus the Oakland Athletics. So let's just keep this simming going. We're actually doing pretty well. Justice Sheffield in the bottom of the 9th. Let's see if we can pull this out. And no, the Rangers actually get us there at home. Oh, so then we drop 3 of 4 versus the Rangers. And now we're in another situation, top of the 8th inning, 2 outs. And we win this one 4-2. So that's a good sign at home. Then we win 2 of 3. But then we have a big trade here. Brad Hand goes to the Angels. So they make this move and actually give up Cody Allen. This doesn't really make any sense. I mean, they're trading a closer for a closer. Maybe it's because Brad Hand has 3 years left on his deal. Let's just check out Cody Allen's contract. No, I mean, this didn't make any sense at all. I mean, I don't know what the Angels were thinking there. Maybe they were... I have no idea. I have no idea, to be honest. And I don't know why the White Sox even made this deal. I mean, they're in the rebuilding phase as well. And they're trading for an older closer. And the Angels aren't even in contention at all. So I'm not sure what the Angels strategy is right now, but that just doesn't make any sense for either team. So let's see if we can get through this divisional stretch and get 3 wins here at home. And we end up dropping 2 of 3. And now we're 60-44 after the All-Star break. Let's just see where we're at in the division, as we are still 4.5 games up. So it looks like even our losing there doesn't hurt us, as the Rangers actually are 5-5 in their last 10. So why not? Let's just keep moving. We are going up against the Brewers on the road, then the Twins, Angels, and the Giants. I'm trying to look for a team that I'm really interested in playing here. Maybe the Tampa Bay Rays. They are 64-39 on the season. Let's just actually look at the AL East and see what's going on in that division, as the Yankees are still 5.5 games above the Rays, but the Rays are actually doing really well, better than the Red Sox actually. And wow, I mean, the Yankees are just dominating. So let's see what we can do here to finish out the month of July. We actually lose the first game, but wow, 11-2 here in the second game. And we go on to win that one 11-2. Then we win once again 5-2. So we win 2 of 3 in Milwaukee. So now we're in the top of the 7th inning, and Beckham's going for 3 home runs in this game. That's really interesting. I'm going to hop into this one just to see if I can do it.
Off for a ball. Line drive to left. Well, this will hang up just enough as he takes it in stride in left center for the second out.
So we couldn't get the job done in this one, but we actually do squeak out this victory 6-5. So this team is actually doing pretty decent on the road. The Minnesota Twins actually have pretty much the same record. So let's just get through this series. And oh, it looks like Ronald Marte is hurt. So wait, let's put him on the 10-day injury list. And then, you know what? Okay, so we actually did end up winning that next game 9-6, but I'm actually going to make a move here. So Jarred Kelenic has finally progressed to 70 overall, and that's what I've been waiting for, but I'm still not going to move him up. But who I am going to move up is Kyle Seager. And remember, he is still our highest paid guy in the organization. $18.7 million comes off of the books next season. So expect me to probably spend some money on it, at least one player, because that money is coming off of the books. But we are going to move him up and give him the shot at the MLB once again. And right now, he's just going to play first base versus left-handers because, you know, Vogelback does play first base versus right-handers. So he'll get to play at least a couple of games. We'll see if he even gets to before Ronald Marte does come back. So let's get to the end of the month now. And we have a 2-game set versus the, who is that? The Angels. And we end up, so we're at the trade deadline. So we're at an interesting spot here in the organization. I mean, honestly, I just don't see any need to trade anybody or trade for anybody. Everybody in our rotation's doing well. Everybody. I mean, all 5 starters are all doing well. And believe it or not, Carlos Rodon, who was going to be our ace going into this year if we didn't sign Kluber, is actually our worst pitcher right now. And we just gave him that contract, $10.5 million over 5 years. And Marco Gonzalez is actually, look at his cheap deal, $1 million a year for the next couple of years. And even guys behind him like Daniel Hyde, who was, I believe, our 4th round pick in our first draft, 3rd or 4th round pick. He's progressing really nicely at 75 overall, and I'm not even close to even moving him up. I think we can still sit him in the minors for a couple more years, I think. And just looking at our bullpen, everybody's doing well, and Yalo Gomez is the one exception. And we actually did sign Lewandowski in the offseason to a contract, but I wanted to see what he can do in the minors, and it doesn't look like he's doing too well. He's still only 19 years old, but I want to see what he's got. Joey Gerber is another pitching prospect that we have in our relief part of our organization, and he's doing decent. Gregory Infante was a guy we actually signed as well. He's doing pretty good at AAA. I'm actually thinking about switching him and Yalo Gomez because Gregory Infante, well, he's a veteran, 33 years old, and he hasn't done much in his career, but I think he's just doing hot right now. Maybe I should just do this now. I should move him up and give him a shot. I need to put him on the 40-man first. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move Yalo Gomez down to AAA and Gregory Infante up to the MLB level. And you know what's funny? Look at his contract. It's just renewable. I don't know what the deal with that is. He's not making any money or what? Let me just look at his morale. What does that say? Look, it says he's making $0. He's playing for free. Bruh. That's the thing. I just don't see any need for anybody right now. I mean, everybody in our organization's hitting well. I mean, the backup catcher is probably the lone exception. And who knows? I can even get a guy in free agency. I haven't even looked in free agency at all. Ronald Marte was hitting 280, man. I'm telling you, this guy is just going to be special when he gets his legs under him, hitting at the MLB level. He's going to be special. Paul DeJong is struggling, though. 226. I got to move him in the order because right now we're still winning games despite him only hitting 226. I'm going to move him down and maybe move... I don't know who I'm going to move up in the order, but we'll have to see. So for now, I'm just going to move him down one spot to the cleanup spot, but I'm going to move Marwin Gonzalez up because he's still hitting 310. I thought about moving David Freese up to that 3 spot and keeping Marwin Gonzalez at the 4 spot, but I do need somebody that hits for average right in the middle of our lineup right here, and I kind of like him there. So we're going to do the same thing versus left-handers, move Gonzalez up to the 4 spot, and Paul DeJong down. I'm going to put Paul DeJong at the 5 spot here versus lefts because I do have Domingo Santana here who is hitting really, really well versus lefties. So I think that's what I'm going to do here. So let's sim up to this Tampa Bay series, and that's where we'll leave off in this episode. And then next couple of episodes, we'll get through August and September. And let's just see what we do here. If we get the couple of victories here versus the Angels, and it looks like we're in another critical situation. Bottom of the 10th inning. This is interesting. Let's hop into this one. So let's see what we can do here. Now we're into the 11th inning. We weren't able to do anything in the 10th. Marwin Gonzalez at the plate. Come on, give me one I like here. Right over the middle of the plate. 2-0 count. There we go. But it's a ground ball, and that's an easy play at first. I rarely live commentate any of these games. That's a ground ball. Damn it. And that's an easy out. Okay, so J.P. Crawford is on second here. Guys on first and second. 1 out in the inning. Omar Narvaez can be the hero. And that's going to be ball 1 in the dirt. There we go. There's a hit to the left side. And that is going to score J.P. as I don't know who that is in the left field. That's Brantley. And he fumbles that one, and we go on to win this game off of that walk-off hit from, a guy that actually had a down year last year. I didn't give up on him, but then he comes back, and he's hitting around 300 this year in Omar Narvaez. And we actually teamed him up with his old teammate Wellington Castillo, but he's doing well, and he comes up with the walk-off here in this one. So we finished the month of July 16-9. That's not too bad considering how many road games we had in this month. That's actually pretty good. I can't lie because, we went on the road, won 2 of 3 versus a tough Minnesota team, 2 of 3 versus Milwaukee, and we ended up starting it out 3 of 4 versus Oakland. That's actually not too bad. So let's actually get through these last 2 games and then see what we can do here. So we actually win that last game versus the Angels. Then we're actually in a hole. This one, bottom of the 10th inning. Marwin Gonzalez up with 2 outs. We can play this one really quick. Hitting 306 still on the year, Marwin Gonzalez. This guy is he's been an angel of a signing. All right, I hate 1-2 counts. It's like the worst count to be in because he can do anything right here. Oh, and we ground out. So that is going to end the game, and they get out of here with the 2-game sweep of us, and it's the Giants of all teams. They get the victory on the road. So now heading into this Tampa Bay series, 67-48, and they are 71-44. We get to face off against Blake Snell, who is 17-1. Let's just look at the standings here, as we are actually 7 games up on the Rangers. We have a pretty good distance between first and second here. Let's just see if they're even in the race for the wild card. No, they are not. Back 9 games, so we have no choice but to finish this season off and win this division, because if we don't, we're probably not going to make the playoffs, as the wild card races pretty much, I mean, between 2 teams pretty much. 3 teams. Red Sox are still in it. So that's really going to do it here in this episode. Kirby Yates actually went, leading the AL. Let's see if it's the MLB. No, just AL. So leading the AL in saves with 35. That's actually really good. And then we get to face off against Blake Snell next episode. I want to see what he's got. I want to give him that second loss. We'll see if we can do that. Man, he's having an amazing year. As always, he's one of the elite pitchers in the majors anyway. So that's what we'll pick up next episode. And remember, we did not make any trades. I don't know if we are going to make trades, but we'll see. I don't see the need for it right now. I mean, like I said, backup catcher is maybe one. And then I think that's it. I think right now, on our team, that is the only hole we have. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. Next episode is coming soon, so stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.